All right, guys, what's going on? Justin from 79 Productions, and super excited about this thing, guys. We are going to be getting this thing ready to go. I need to bleed the clutch. We're going to go ahead and get to that. And after I bleed the clutch, this thing should be ready to hit the road. So let's get into this video. Today we'll bleed the clutch. We'll drive it. I do want to test out those Maxpeedingrods coilovers. We put them on the car, and I'm super excited about that. So we're going to test out the coilovers. We're going to drive the car. We need to make sure everything is situated with the B series swap we put in, and we're going to go ahead and get to this video. So let's get started. All right, guys, so we're trying to get this thing ready to hit the road, and right now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be bleeding the clutch. So here's the bleeder valve, and basically what we have to do is keep pumping the clutch, and then we hold the pedal down, and then we open the valve and let the air and the fluid come out. We already got it going a little bit, but you'll see. Go ahead, Justin, pump it. So we're pumping it there, and then he's gonna hold it down, and I'm gonna let the air and the fluid out. See, we got a little bubbles. We got bubbles still in there. Now I close it. Now go ahead and pump it again. Now he could pump it again. And we're gonna keep on doing this until all the air is out of the lines. Go ahead. And that thing is starting to move a lot better. All right, guys, so that thing is pretty good. We got all the air out of the line, and the clutch is working. The clutch pedal has pressure, so we're good to go now. All right, guys, so we got everything situated with the car, and I'm gonna go ahead and take this thing for a drive now. Super excited about this. Yeah, been working all day on it, and I got the slave cylinder bled. I got a lot of the wiring put up and connected the way it should be, and I still have to put on the power steering pump, but we're gonna go ahead and take it. I'm trying to find the bolts for that, so I don't have that on. But we're gonna go ahead and take this thing for a drive now, and I wanna drive it and give the coilovers a chance to settle. A lot of the times when you drive them, sometimes it goes down a little bit or it moves. So we're gonna go ahead and test those coilovers and see if when we come back we need to adjust them. But I'm excited about this. This thing's ready to go. All right, guys, so we're out here taking this thing for a ride, and I'm super excited about this. I've been circling around, and guys, I'm sweating. It is hot in this car. We ain't got no AC, but we're driving, we're having fun, and I'm just excited about this. I got the swap in. I put the new coilovers on, the camper kit, and guys, this thing is running great. Now, we already knew the engine was good because we had it in the blue car, and I've been driving that thing for 5-6 years, so I got no complaints about that. Now, I want to say this, big shout out to Maxpeedingrods, because those T7 coilovers, they're such an upgrade from the basic coilovers, and I didn't think that they would be a big upgrade, but they are. I don't know, the T7 coilovers, they handle into the corners better, and I thought that with the stiffer spring rate that there would be a lot of bounciness going on, and there really isn't. They ride really smooth. So yeah, they ride smooth, and I have to say that now I do have them on the softest setting, so that's probably why they're not as stiff, but they are on the softest setting. And the T7s are a 24-way adjustable coilover, so you can soften them you can stiffen them up and they adjust. So they're pretty good. I have no complaints. I've been running Maxpeedingrods. I've been running Maxpeedingrods coilovers. See, like we just took a pretty big bump and it went into it pretty good. Now, the South Carolina roads over here are terrible. But guys, I've been running Maxpeedingrod coilovers for about 7 years, 6-7 years, and they've been great so far. And these T7 coilovers, they're a big improvement over the old coilovers. So there's really no comparison. So I've been driving this thing and I've been taking this thing around some windy roads, and I think that we're gonna adjust the suspension a little more, lower it. Now it is running perfectly fine, but I do want to get better fitment. Like there's a little bit of fender gap, but I think that this thing is gonna be great to have some fun when we go to the Tail of the Dragon in October. I'm super excited about it. The T7 coilovers are handling pretty good, and the car is driving well. I did the swap. Now I do need to go through and hook up something. I want to say I gotta extend the temperature, the intake temperature sensor wires. I gotta extend those so I can get this check engine light off. But other than that, the car is running great. It's running fine. I do have an exhaust leak too. Now I know exactly where the exhaust leak is. When I put the gasket on, it was a little bit between the header and the exhaust. It was a little bit beat up, but I put it on anyways. I ordered a new one. The new one will be coming in a couple of days, so I'll go ahead and throw that on. If you could hear when I go up to about 3,000 RPM, if you could hear in the background, I'm not sure the camera's picking it up, but you can hear the exhaust leak. But other than that, this thing it's running good, and I'm excited about this. Now, I took the B20 out of the blue car, and I took the T20 out of the B20 out of the blue car, and what I did was, so the blue car still has a lot of hell damage on it, and I don't know if you guys know anything about body work, but it is a lot to fix the amount of hell damage that the blue car has. Now, it looks great. It still looks good. The paint looks decent, but there's a lot of body work needed for that car. So the red car, the engine was down on compression on one cylinder. So what I did, I took the B20 out of the blue car, put it in the red car because the paint job looks great on this. The body's in good condition. The interior's in great condition. So we swapped everything over. Now, I was gonna take the Maxpeedingrods T6 coilovers off the blue car to put on this one, because last year when I went to the Tail of the Dragon with those T6 coilovers, they handled great, but Maxpeedingrods sent me out their upgraded T7 coilovers, and guys, I gotta say that the T7 coilovers are a big improvement. Like, it's really noticeable when you're driving. Now, I thought because of the spring rate, it was going to be a lot stiffer and a bad ride, but we just went over a huge bump. The South Carolina roads they're terrible. I live in Spartanburg, and the roads here are terrible. Now you can see we're going through the back roads and taking some hits, some bumps, and there's a lot of dips in the road, and for the spring rate being a lot stiffer than the basics and the T6s, guys, I gotta say it rides pretty smooth. The T7 coilovers, they ride pretty smooth, so it's a big upgrade over the basic coilovers. Huge upgrade. Now, I like the T6 coilovers because I've had those on my blue car for about 2 years now, and I didn't know if I can. I was debating, like I said before, I was debating on putting the T6 coilovers on this, but Maxpeedingrods, they said, hey, try out the T7 coilovers, and I tried the T7 coilovers out. We've been driving this thing now around town for about an hour and a half, and I gotta say that the T7 coilovers, they're great coilovers. So super excited about this. It's gonna be a big improvement over what was already on the car, and we're gonna be going to the Tail of the Dragon with this thing, so I want it to handle as best as possible. So I'm gonna be working on the suspension. I already put the T7 coilovers on. I put the Maxpeedingrod camber kit, that way I can adjust the camber. I have Maxpeedingrods rear lower control arms, and I have their export brakes. So we're gonna be putting on all of that stuff. That way we can have a fun drive and we can have as many suspension upgrades as possible. So big shout out to Maxpeedingrods. So we've been driving this thing around, and it's doing pretty good. Right now, we've been off and on driving for about an hour and a half, and I'm super excited about this, guys. The car is running great. The B20 in it, guys, this thing, I picked up the B20 engine for $400 5-6 years ago, and I've had a turbo kit on it. I'm about to put a turbo kit on it again, and this thing has been running great for a long time. Now, it was in the blue car, now it's in the red Civic, and it's gonna keep going. Now, we've got big plans for the blue car, and I'm super excited about what I'm gonna be doing with the blue car. I'm trying to gather all of the parts that I can get for that car, and there's a lot of stuff that I still have to get for it, but that's all right. We'll go ahead and we'll get that stuff and make it happen. Now, as far as the red car goes, I know I'm gonna daily this car and I'm gonna keep driving it and having fun with it. I don't know if I'm gonna keep building and adding on to it, but for right now, I'm excited about where it is. Guys, this thing's running great. Has a good suspension on it, great suspension. And it's gonna be one of those things where it's gonna be a daily, a reliable daily. So I'm very happy about that. Once I get the exhaust leak fixed, adjust the coilovers a little more, and do a couple of other things to it, I think we're gonna be good to go with this thing, and it's gonna just be a great car. All right, guys, so we've been driving this thing around and it's doing pretty good. Right now, we've been off and on driving for about an hour and a half, and I'm super excited about this, guys. The car is running great. The B20 in it, guys, this thing, I picked up the B20 engine for $400 5-6 years ago, and it's been, I've had a turbo kit on it. I'm about to put a turbo kit on it again, and this thing has been running great for a long time. Now, it was in the blue car, now it's in the red Civic, and it's gonna keep going. Now, we've got big plans for the blue car, and I'm super excited about what I'm gonna be doing with the blue car. I'm trying to gather all of the parts that I can get for that car, and there's a lot of stuff that I still have to get for it, but that's all right. We'll go ahead and we'll get that stuff and make it happen. Now, as far as the red car goes, I know I'm gonna daily this car and I'm gonna keep driving it and having fun with it. I don't know if I'm gonna keep building and adding on to it, but for right now, I'm excited about where it is. Guys, this thing's running great. Has a good suspension on it, great suspension. And it's gonna be one of those things where it's gonna be a daily, a reliable daily. So I'm very happy about that. Once I get the exhaust leak fixed, adjust the coilovers a little more, and do a couple of other things to it, I think we're gonna be good to go with this thing, and it's gonna just be a great car. All right, guys, so we are back, and I parked this thing and I've been going over stuff again, and guys, this thing was running great. Now, I think I'm gonna leave the back right there. I'm gonna probably leave it right there, but I want to bring the front down maybe about an inch, half an inch to an inch. So I do need to adjust those coilovers. The back, I think, looks fine, so we're gonna leave that thing right there. But guys, this car is running great. You know, I'm super excited about this. Now, big shout out to Maxpeedingrods. Like I said before, I was gonna go ahead and take those the coilovers off the blue car and put them on this, because I thought that the T6s were an upgrade over the basics, and they are, but they end up sending me out their new T7 coilovers. So big shout out to Maxpeedingrods. They sent me the camber kit, the rear control arms, the export brace, and I think all of that stuff is going to make the car handle that much better when we get to the tail of the dragon. Been doing a shakedown run with this thing for the last hour and a half, and it's great. One of the only things I noticed, the exhaust leak, and that's about it. Now I do need to extend the air intake temperature sensor so it connects, so we could get the check engine light off. But Other than that, this thing is riding great. Those coilovers, huge upgrade. Super excited about those, and all the other suspension parts Maxpeedingrods sent us out. And guys, this car is, you know, these old Hondas do not have a lot of horsepower, especially some of you think, oh, you know, you did a B series swap. I want to say these engines are like 135, 140 horsepower. Now the car is 2,300 pounds, but the thing is, you can have a lot of fun with these cars if you upgrade your suspension, coilover, stuff like that. It just makes it handle a lot better. You can take corners faster. You can drive through the corners faster with these coilovers. And the suspension upgrades are huge because even though the car's underpowered, it handles really good. So I'm super excited about that. Super excited about this car. We're gonna this year, guys, we're gonna have more fun, and we're gonna drive this car. We're gonna drive this car around a lot more. These bugs all over the place. We're gonna drive this car around a lot more and have as much fun as we can. So in the future, we're gonna get back on some of the other projects that we've been working on. I got those videos and I'm gonna be uploading those, and we got a lot of stuff coming to this channel, so super excited about that. Now guys, I'm gonna wrap the video up here. Once again, big shout out to Maxpeedingrods. They came through with these T7 coilovers and the other suspension parts. But that's gonna be it, guys. I'm gonna wrap the video up here. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook at 79 Productions, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. God bless you guys.